We now join our regularly scheduled programming already in progress.
Look stupid with tape on.
Heidi said she's going to do some electrical work for us today.
It's not electrical.
Yes.
I'm gonna look at what, writing it on my list.
What's that?
Light switch cover.
Oh, you're talking about over top of the ding dong?
Like
I don't even know if they make that anymore. If you look, we have a lot of these, like this is taped, right? And it looks stupid.
It does.
Heidi says it looks stupid. I say it looks awesome. Actually, I think it looks stupid too.
Awesomely stupid.
But we have that a lot going on in this house, just like we did our last house, and it's because this is for the garage light, the external garage light. Well, we have a camera and automatic lights on there that this needs to be on all the time. But people will turn it off by accident if I don't tape it. Well, we have a kitchen light, which is this one right here, which is funny. Nobody tries to do anything with that. But anyways, we have a fan with a remote control that's over on the wall there. Problem is when this light's on, it's just the habit of, oh, the kitchen light's on, let's turn off the light switch. Then I grab the remote and I'm like, why is this not working? So anyways, her mom, when Heidi and I first started dating, I asked if I could use the bathroom at her mom's house, and her mom said, or her dad said, yes, but whatever you do, don't turn off the switch that's on the right-hand side. You can turn off the switch for the lights on the left-hand side, not the one on the right-hand side. And it's because they had a well pump that was wired into a switch, because all those houses down there used to be vacation cottages. They weren't full-time homes.
We need a light on.
I just turned it on for you. So anyways, I told Heidi, I said, you know what? I think we could buy a switch cover for your dad, and he would never have to explain that again. And it's still on there to this day.
Yeah.
That's 35 years, whatever, that we put that on there, and it's still on there. Well, that's what she's looking for now.
And then all these light switches and electric, they look dumb. We need to replace them all, but that...
Yeah. This is cool. Look at that. Look, garage door opener button. You can tell that's so 70s.
Right.
Look at this is what they heard, Hyde. Look right here.
Hang on.
They're everywhere. They're so bad in this location.
You're talking horse flies. Oh
yeah,
my God.
They are so bad in this location, and they
my mama
bite.
Could not be here hanging outside because horse flies like her.
Yeah, they bite a lot here. Well, they bite everywhere.
Right.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
We want to thank RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring this video.
Stay tuned to the end of this little commercial for special links for a special discount, and I'm going to make an announcement here about this month. This is the best mattress that we came across. We've been through about 2 of them with this company. And since you're dealing with the manufacturer direct, they can dial you into whatever you need. You're seeing a big person's mattress there. Even though I'm a big person, they have other offerings. The first one that we got, it's free shipping, was delivered. We tried it out, and it just wasn't right. They have a 120-night sleep trial for you to figure out if this is going to be the one or not. But it just wasn't for us. It was a little bit too warm. So we talked with them, and they are the manufacturers. You're not dealing with somebody that says, well, that's, we don't have that. They can custom make, within reason, a mattress that'll make, a little taller, a little harder, a little colder, a little hotter. You just have to ask them for that. But there'll be links in the description. First, go to the links, see if you can find something that looks like, the mattress that you want. But again, the sleep quality and comfort that we have, and once you do find, a mattress that you like, which we do, you have a lifetime limited warranty as far as it breaking down, which I don't know. Ours don't even show any signs of that at all. We don't even flip it around or do any of that stuff. Okay. So rvmattress.com/daydream, you're going to see the code daydream here, right? that is going to give you an exclusive 30% off. But if you're heading to the Hershey RV show, make sure you stop by the RVMattress.com booths at spots number 148 and 149. You can test out all of their top RV mattresses in person. And here's a bonus. Let them know that RV Daydream sent you, and you'll get an exclusive show discount. Check them out. Heidi's going to go to the store. She's off today, if you didn't notice.
I'm gonna go get us a whole chicken, and I'm gonna do it on the grill today. And I gotta pick green beans.
Sounds like fun.
And they're still wheat. Oh, wonder if we got any.
Holy moly. Guacamole in my pocket.
Yeah, these things are not. They're just flat. Oh, look. There's one.
Oh, yeah. There's two there. One's really small.
Where's the? I gotta pick it. I don't want to pick them when they're.
Look at
Where's
that
the
one's.
other one?
Oh, that one's rotted or something. See it right there? See it?
Oh, yeah.
But that one's not. And then there's a little. There's a few of them in here, hon. There's a little tiny one.
Oh, yeah. That's good. I'll have to pick those whenever.
That's a good size one. Not.
No, it's a small, but I don't want them. I'm not.
Okay, let's go look at your pumpkins. Oh, we gotta finish looking at the squash first.
That's the first up in case it falls out.
Look at how nobody's been weeding this property. And there's no peppers around the
I
corner,
obviously am not getting any zucchini. I got one zucchini.
right?
So
And none of these produce peppers.
right here. There's these pepper plates right here. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Let me eat them.
Look at all this other foliage in here. It looks so nice.
Oh, look, this one isn't any good. It's healthy. It's empty.
Just throw it in the yard. I'll mow it. I'll mow over it.
That thing's not growing either.
What?
Oh, it died. It died.
Well, you can leave it there. I'll just mow over it. Oh, no, that'll kill the plant.
There's still hope.
Is there any others?
I didn't see any.
Okay. Well, just let me know when I need to mow over it all.
I don't really care. Over it now. But there is a one.
Okay.
There's hope.
There's hope.
It's a little late in the year. So I watched a reel, and the guy went out and he got a piece of wood. He set that pumpkin up underneath the wood. That's probably what happened.
Oh, yeah.
So my Roma tomatoes are changing. They're getting ripe. Oh, there's one I can pick. It's really ripe. Look how big it is.
Down at the bottom?
On the other side there.
Oh, yeah.
And then these are...
This was falling. We had to put a bungee cord on it.
Yeah, there's some there. They'll be ripening. I have still... I got some blooms on these.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know why that's... They're both black. I don't know why. Oh, look how tall this cilantro is. Don't have to buy any when we
Yeah, we'll have to water. We'll water tonight. Because we haven't had rain for how many days now? It's been a few, right?
Yeah. These are going to be really good for dinner.
I got a bunch of those growing elsewhere, too.
We have... these are loaded with blooms. There are some cucumbers. So I picked like 10 of them so far. But I do got to pick green beans again today.
I think Heidi loves picking green beans.
No, I don't.
How is our lettuce doing?
Well, we can... This is lettuce and that's lettuce over there. I don't know. You can pick it. See?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So...
You just picked this the other day.
Yeah, Saturday. You can see.
Oh, yeah. Holy cow. There's some
Yeah.
big ones in there. What's your favorite thing to do? Picking the lettuce.
Oh my gosh,
Or picking the beans.
I'm not doing this next year.
I still want the carrots, and oh, they're finally growing. Look how big
What?
they're getting. The carrots.
Oh yeah.
Nice. I mean, don't pull it.
I'm not. Because I already pulled one the other day. You can tell just by without even
Yeah,
They're
that's
not
good.
ready.
Yeah, they're not ready, but
This is only 60 days because I marked on the calendar that my garden's been up here planted.
you're picking that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just thinking about making some pasta and some tomatoes. And I got a little zucchini and squash
Salsa.
and I'm not making salsa. With pasta, I said.
Oh,
And my mom gave me that big garlic. And yeah, that's my exciting day.
well, my exciting day is getting the generator out to run the air conditioning to burn out the rest of that propane. And
Just exchange them at Walmart. It's the cheapest place.
I just know that 2 of them are from 2013,
Yeah, yeah.
and the
Those
other two are okay, but they're
like
might as
at
well.
2 different places.
Yeah, remember how it used to be? Heidi and I used to have a good place to get them refilled, so we made sure we had really nice propane tanks. Now I don't care. I don't care.
I
I
don't
mean,
know anybody around here.
yeah, I don't know anybody.
Even though we live near a campground, kind of amazing the stuff that you don't see.
It is the strangest area.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Maybe
because,
we just don't know yet.
or maybe it's because one of the most snake-infested lakes in Ohio is Mosquito Lake, Mosquito Creek Lake. Maybe nobody goes out there, and they say not to swim there.
Well, that's every lake every year.
Yeah.
They got some kind of weed growing. It's an invasive. They're having a hard time.
It's
killing
called
it off.
wacky weed. Don't remember Jim Stafford singing about wacky weed?
Yeah, but that's not what it is.
Oh. Good morning, YouTube. It's not a very sunny day, is it? It actually rained. Now, I know that our chances of rain was like 5%, but it did rain. It didn't rain very much. But I did get something straightened out that I needed to do, and that is all going to be revealed once this tailgate drops. Ready? Kaboom! Yeah, I exchanged all of our propane tanks. Now, I know, and I'll share this knowledge with you guys if you don't know this. If you want the most for your money, you should find a reputable place that refills propane tanks. And most of the places, like my left arm still don't work very well, so most of the places that do refills, that are good at doing refills, during the process of the propane going in, you know, they have the nozzle hooked to it and the machine's running, and they're usually talking to you and, you know, caring about the weather and stuff. And anyways, they'll put a screwdriver on here and they'll crack it open to allow gas to release, because you want only so much propane in there versus gas, and they measure it for during, you know, by weight. But anyways, every place that I've ever been to that used a screwdriver to crack this valve open during a refill, I've always gotten a little bit more propane out of it that way, and it always works great. It just seems to last longer. And of course, that's on, you know, the 30-pound tanks also, not just these 20-pound tanks. So if you find yourself that you know, you're not able to do that, or if you have a tank that has expired, boy, this one looks pretty beat up, don't it? Again, my left arm don't work very well, so if you have one that's been expired that needs to be recertified, then obviously you need to go in and get it recertified. You need to get the tank recertified. Instead of taking it to a propane refill station and paying for that, or some of them can't even do that, you just go do an exchange. You go do an exchange. All right. Let me give you a quick idea that, yeah, it looks like this one's been recertified. Originally, this is 2018, it looks like, and they recertified it to, this has been hammered, kind of weird. They recertified it till May of 2024. That's this month. I'm sorry. That's not even this expired? Wow. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It got recertified 2024. Grr. So, anyways, getting back to what I was saying, trying to do a public service here. I'm getting sidetracked. Walmart seems to be the cheapest. A local gas station here, I called them up. I said, you do propane exchange? And they said yes. Now, obviously, the reason for that is convenience. If that gas station's open late in the evening, they may do propane exchanges late into the evening. Whereas, of course, Walmart, at some point, I'm sure they close. In our case, our Walmart does it through the automotive center. But the difference in price is pretty drastic. So if I would have went up to, let's see, I guess that's about 4 miles, maybe 5 miles to the local gas station, each one of these tanks would have been $27 plus tax to do an exchange. Our Walmart is $19 plus tax, almost $20 plus tax. So it's just a little over 20. Obviously, $28 cheaper if I went and did these 4 at Walmart. It's just a little bit further. So shop around a little bit, but again, just to let you know that if you want to make sure that you have your propane tanks being filled to the fullest and the best deal, you have to find a really good reputable shop that will refill them and charge a decent amount. But if not, you can do the propane tank exchange, but sometimes they're not filled quite as much as you would get them if, again, you had a shop refill them for you. No big deal. It's all right. I'm happy because I got 4 tanks that now are certified and everything. I'm going to take this crappy, nasty looking one, and I'm putting that underneath the cover. Then I'll try to find another one here that I'll leave underneath the cover also. Ideally, I would like to have 30-pound tanks, but oh well. Look at this too. I was telling Heidi this the other day. Our old Terry travel trailer, the front end, when you got right to here, it went straight down. It continued just straight down. It didn't wrap around. Man, with this wraparound area, I've got a lot of room that I could put a generator if I wanted to. Definitely. Heidi says, you are not getting hold of a welder and having them come out and do that. I said, I know. I get it. That's what we did with the Terry camper. And the sad part is, I'll tell you, I mean, I shouldn't be upset about it. We sold our Terry camper for the price that we wanted for it. We sold it for, I think we were asking $6,000, and that's exactly what we got. And I was happy about that. That was a fair price. The thing is it was set up so nicely to travel all the time, and it just sits over in the guy's driveway. And I think I mentioned it before, I would be saddened to go look at that and find out how crappy it is. But, it had a generator mount on the front. I think I may have included them. It had the propane connections to where you could run the generator, a Champion generator, dual fuel generator, off of the propane that was already on board. So I had a cover for the generator. The generator was mounted down, strapped down to the board, and then it had all kinds of safety straps on it. Go back and check out that video if this is too boring for you and you'd rather just see it. But I had that generator set up to where then it was plugged in all the time to a cord that I installed that went all the way to the back of the RV, and it was secured underneath the RV the whole way, and I put an automatic transfer switch in the bedroom underneath the bed, so that if the RV was plugged in to power like this one is right now, it would run off of this power. However, if it wasn't plugged in and you fired up the generator would then power the RV automatically. So we could just stop for the night, and I could take the cover off. I had an exhaust pipe that went on to the generator that just kind of hung out here to get the fumes away from the RV. And I just hit the start, turn on the propane, hit the start, let the generator run, and the transfer switch would click over underneath the bed, and I turn on the air conditioner, and that was it. I could run the the RV. It's just sad. We did so much for that RV, so it could be something that you could just travel with it and pull over anywhere and run it. And if you didn't want to run it off propane, you just put gas in it. It was outside the RV, so you didn't have to worry about the fumes, the gas fumes. It's just sad. Like I said, so that RV's just sitting over in that guy's driveway. I wonder, maybe we'll reach out to him. It's we're actually Facebook friends with him, and he's just a small world. Whenever you live in a small town, everybody knows everybody. When we sold our RV, our Terry travel trailer, it was, we had it in the front yard of our house, and somebody was driving by, and they seen it, obviously, and they're the ones that ended up ultimately buying it. It just so happens that this guy was renting a cottage down on the lake. All right. The lake that I'm talking about is the lake that we lived next to. It was just down the street. It's Westville Lake. The cottage that he rented off the people that bought the cottage from the people that we were renting it from when Heidi and I first got married. Heidi and I first got married, and we lived in a little brick home that we rented. And then when that's when we were just getting married. And then when we got married, and it was about a year had passed, we had moved into this little cottage down by the lake. And the reason that we moved there is because Heidi's parents lived 2 houses away. The house that Heidi grew up in was 2 houses away from where we lived. And we were renting off these people for, a couple years. And they came to us and said, hey, we're going to sell our house. Do you guys want to buy it? Well, at the time we were really young, and we just didn't have the money, and it wasn't a perfect place. It needed some work. It was a cottage. It wasn't meant to live in year round, yet people did that. So we ended up passing on that, and we, the new people that purchased the home, they contacted us and said, hey, listen, just let us know when you're going to move out. You don't have to re-sign a contract or anything. We realize that you have a lease with the people that we're buying it off of for the next so many months. And they said, but take your time, no big deal. So a few different people had rented that house over the years, and then this guy that ended up buying our Terry travel trailer, he's the one that had lived in there, and they still live there. They've lived there for quite some time. And then he asked me, is it okay if you show me how to hook it up and you tow it with my truck and show me what I could be concerned with? He goes, I've never towed anything like this. I said, sure, not a problem. We lived real close. Everybody knew everybody. So I basically set up the hitch for him and all that stuff. Well, fast forward, years later, and here we are. We're traveling around, and come to find out that travel trailer came up for sale. Well, we had our 5th wheel at that time, and it's like, well, I don't have any need for it, and we just said whatever. Well, the house that we lived in, out on the street, the house that we did all our videos from, the front yard that we sold that RV out of, the neighbor that lived behind us, he knew all about what we did to that RV. And the guy that bought it off of us, they were friends. And he said, listen, I'd like to buy that RV off you. You know, let's work out a deal. And that's what he did. He bought that RV. And now that RV that we did our first beginnings of our channel with, and that we did all that restoration to, and I did some of that, you know, just mentioned some of the work that I made on it. That RV is currently sitting at his house, to where if we were living in that house still, we could look out our kitchen window and we'd be able to see our RV parked in his driveway. So he's a neighbor. He was a neighbor. He was our friend. He's a friend on Facebook. So we could contact him and ask him, hey, are you ever planning on selling it? It's just sitting here. But that's where the problem lies. I don't want to see it. I mean, we replaced the entire roof. We replaced all the seals, everything on the roof. We redid the walls inside. We repainted it. I upgraded all kinds of stuff inside, put in all the LEDs, put in a new stove, a new controller. We did so much work on it. New tires, everything. We did all that work on it. And it was perfect when we got done with it, you know. It's hard. It would be hard for us to take a look at it and see that it's no longer perfect and that it probably needs work. And it could be that it got misused, abused. Could be that they let rodents get in it. Who knows? But it would just, I think it'd be too sad. I'm not rolling it out, but I think it'd be too sad personally. So why am I standing out here? Well, I got to put the propane tanks on the tongue of the RV. I thought I'd just touch base with you. Heidi had to work today. However, she is off tomorrow. Our son is at work. He got a promotion at work, and they got him working a few more hours. They gave him a raise. They gave him a title. He's in charge of a few people, and good for him. But yeah, I need to do this. Put these propane tanks on here, and I'm disappointed in what my caulking job looks like after I redid it the other day, and I'm just fed up with it. Heidi says it looks horrible. I said, yes, it does. And she says, let's just leave it. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. I still like to do something with this. I mean, ideally, here I could do something. I can make it look better here. All I'd have to do is find this color paint and then repaint it, but that's not going to work. Let's just move along. Keep it moving along. Morning, YouTube. And today's going to be a little different for us because our grandson's here, and I think he wants to go for an explore. So I'm going to show you one of the local attractions. How about that? He wants to go check out. Ooh, she got bugs all over her car. He wants to check out the local. It's called Imagination Station. So let's see what that's about. So here we are at Bezetta Park. This is the Imagination Station, but it's also, of course, just a community park. So you can see the baseball fields off over here and all these pavilions. They got the bookmobile here today. And of course, since kids are out of school, they have summer programs. And that's what's going on here. They've got the storybook trail over here, and it's all loaded up with kids. But he wants to go play on the castle part of the park. You can see that, right? And then the storybook trail, what happens is when you go through the storybook trail, there's actually a story that you can read at each one of these stations as you go through the trail. But this is a really nice park, and it's one of the places that we've never really explored, which that's changing today, which is kind of nice. But you can see all the parks pretty well taken care of. They've got quite a few different names on the balustrade for the railings that shows for, you know, donators and that, but very cool place. Well, take a good look at it, because as you're watching this video, they are tearing this place down. They are demolishing it. It was supposed to only have lasted 25 years, and they stretched it out to 30 years. And although it is perfectly functioning, they have a $300,000 grant, and between the community and township fundraising, they're estimating the cost to be at least $525,000 to repair this place. So as you're watching this video, this is all gone. It's been demolished, and they are rebuilding a whole new imagination station or playground. It's basically a playground. Crazy, huh?
We're trying to get a hold of the guy. We don't want to spend the night there, so it's a 4-hour drive over. What we did yesterday, so hello, Brooklyn. Exercise your mind and body at the Ohio State Parks, it's true. This interactive trail is lined with pages of Mrs. Mapleseed's to combine fun of reading with outdoor exploration. It's time to put on your hiking shoes and your thinking cap. Poison ivy. Yeah, it says check out the bottom of each page for fun facts, and you must have to have a book maybe. Bright August morning, Miss Maple flies home. She hurried ahead of the flock to get ready for her guests.
Wow. Oh, it is a hut. It is.
Yeah, oh yeah. Frogs and toads have very good hearing. They also have good sense of taste and smell to check for signs of danger in the air around them. In the spring, look carefully at frogs. Some will carry it by the river, land in soft, muddy soil.
Oh, this is flat.
It's okay. It's alright.
Can I not pick that up and throw it in the water?
I don't. Yeah, he probably could.
Is there nothing else?
Yeah.
You can see the boulders.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah. We're not gonna go all the way down. Oh, but we could probably cut over if we wanted. Or we can stay. We'll stay on the story trail.
Figo.
Yeah.
Figo. You can hear the water.
Yeah. It's nice and calm.
Look how long is that? There's some other boulders.
Yeah.
Way back there.
Look, straight ahead.
Okay.
You like spiders?
No. Yeah, I saw another before.
So we'll go down here to the beach and the playground. Okay, you do that right now. This is also close to the house. How far do you think we're from the house?
Just a couple miles.
It's got to be 3, right? 4 maybe?
It was 3.5 to the, well, I didn't look after it started. It's like when the crows fly.
Yeah. So this is the public. Most of Ohio State parks, whenever there's a lake involved, you have like a public beach area, playground, stuff like that.
Let's take State Route 305 and North Park Avenue
Oh, it's
Extension
2
Warren.
point.
It's 3 miles.
In 2.4 miles.
Oh, 3 miles.
Turn right on North Park Avenue Extension.
So most Ohio State parks, whenever you got public picnic area, you have a playground, a beach, a park to the right. And then if you want to camp, you would go to the campground. They're always pretty much separate. Now, that doesn't mean there's not a beach in the campground that you can go to, because most of the places have access from the campgrounds also to the water. But this is like if you don't want to pay for the campground, or you don't want to pay for the amenities of being inside the RV park, this is just the public area. This is for all residents, and you can day use it down here. You can come down here with your RV. You can set it up for the most part and just hang out. You don't have to do anything. You just kind of hang out. Check out that little truck. You got a camper on the back of it, and it's a flatbed. It's tiny. But yeah, so this would be, like I say, the public camping area, the public beach area. I'm sure the pavilions you still have to reserve if you want to use the pavilion.
Grandma didn't dress you today.
I do. And I dressed myself.
You did dress yourself. It's more than apparent. Look at that playground, Lincoln. It's hard to believe that this is just over 3 miles away. I'll focus on this. You guys can pause if you'd like. And then here's the beach. Well, the only thing I got finished was mowing the lawn today, and then I got sidetracked, and I had stuff that I needed to do. So What a surprise, I guess. That happens a lot. Let's see what it's like inside here. Oh, I can already feel the cool air coming in. A fly flew in here. Seriously? Let's see what the temperature is. 68. Yeah, now he wants out. No kidding, dumbass. Yeah, 68 degrees. So we went to the park, as you saw, and we brought our grandson, and then we went to the beach area at the campground, and he was playing in the water. And there was a certain, we sat at the picnic table for a while, and there was a certain sense of, I don't know, just comfort, very casual, felt really good. It was just nice. It was nice. I don't want you guys to have to hear that. But it was just very pleasant. And we felt, I don't know how to describe it, but it reminded us when we were traveling on the road that, we would step outside the RV, we'd be under the, the awning, we would sit down in our chairs, maybe flip through our phones, watch, people go by, maybe we'd go to the beach and hang out. And basically, I don't know if you guys do this, but I know we do. We start feeling like, man, we could use a vacation. One of those things. So, as I was sitting there at the picnic table flipping through, Heidi says, "What are you looking at?" I said, "I'm looking at maybe we'll go rent a hotel for a week down in maybe Myrtle Beach or North Myrtle Beach, or just to hang out, just to get away from everything." And Heidi said, "Well, I don't have I still don't have a full staff, so," she says, "if we do that," she goes, "I could probably get away for about 4 or 5 days." And I said, "Well, that should be okay." I said, the thing is, if we're driving down to Myrtle Beach, I know that we can drive straight through. We've done that plenty of times, but we enjoy ourselves so much more when we just take our time and we just pull over and, stay the night somewhere and then get up the next morning and head to our destination. And there's no rush, and, you're just casual about it. So I told her, I said, "Well, we'd probably have to rush." I said, "I don't know." And then, like I said, we had that moment of, So what am I talking about? I said, why don't we just fix the RV and we can plan a trip with the RV? And I said, and that way we can just stop when we want to stop. And I said, it won't cost as much. And she goes, "Yeah, why aren't we doing that?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Even if it's just local here, I said, but quite honestly, she said the same thing I was thinking. She goes, "I'd like to go up to Lake Erie again, maybe up to East Harbor." And I said, "Yeah, that wouldn't be so bad. Maybe we'll do Put in Bay. That may not be so bad. We've never camped at Put in Bay in an RV. We've only done that tent camping. So anyways, I need to get working on this, but I have a couple of things that didn't turn out the way that I thought, and my workload's changed up slightly. And of course, I'm talking about reviews. You guys don't want to hear about that stuff, I'm sure. But yeah, I have some editing to do, and I'll have to see if I can get this video edited and put together and out also. But I don't know. I don't know how it's all going to work, but we'll find out. But like I said, today, the lawn got mowed. That was it. Just the lawn. Let me turn this on. Yeah, kind of sad. So you can see why I leave these barn doors open throughout the day, especially this time of year, because the sun is getting awful low in the sky and staying relatively low. Of course, we're not even into fall yet, but I mean, you can see where the sunset sort of is right over top of the trees there. But you can see how much sun I get later in the day in the pole building to help dry this out. Does a pretty good job. Like I said, it's kind of hard to describe, but this is just kind of like
more damp. It's not that it's muddy. It's just damp. Nothing that a good layer of gravel wouldn't take care of. But if I could dry it out this way, that's what I'm going to do. I don't expect you guys to see this necessarily, but I just come through and I can read the writing on the truck from the previous owner. Their phone number is 618-753-6212. And then it says Cub Cadet, Toro, Kubota, Ferris. I don't know that one. Oh, Kyoto and Yanmar, which is all outdoor power equipment. Interesting.
The current weather is 90 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly sunny skies. Today, you can expect lots of sun with a high of 92 degrees and a low of 66 degrees.
Well, how about that? Not too bad for 1 o'clock. It's not even 1 o'clock. So, welcome back, YouTube, to a beautiful day, as you just heard. I love it when we get to noonish and we were already at 90. So I thought it'd be a good idea to do some work today. It's quiet in here. Wonder where all the birds are. Huh. Usually this place is a chirp fest, but there's nothing. Heidi's going to call and get some sort of a estimate, some sort of timetable, some sort of schedule, something for us to get a roll-off, because we need to get rid of all that concrete block, whatever's behind the pole building. This trailer, almost everything on that trailer. And yeah, that's where we're at. Of course, stuff over here, stuff out there. We just need to do a cleanup, and I'm not making multiple trips to the wrecking yard or the scrap yard with the truck and that trailer back there. I just don't think that's a good idea. I really wish this was a more of a productive location. We were talking about calling. There's a couple of nails that's gone all the way through there. I can see a hole and a rust spot there. We were talking about calling somebody and having them give us an estimate on resealing the roof, doing a spray. You know, just like you would an RV. They make those spray-on rubber coatings that would probably help considerably sealing this off. And I was supposed to pressure wash all this. Oh, my word. How is it that we're into August? And, well, I'm going to give you an answer to that. And this is going to be a little bit of a rant for you guys that like that. That guy that sold us this RV and pulled our leg about, well, I didn't know it was damaged. Whenever I gave him an estimate to repair it, he said, well, there's only going to be maybe $300 worth of materials. And I told him, you're absolutely right. But what is my labor and my time worth that I have to instead clean up the camper, get it stocked and organized, ready for us to go camping and enjoy it this summer? I said, I am going to have to find the time that I did not have to modify and repair this RV. And ultimately, that is what held us up. That stopped a lot of stuff this year. Every time I have a little bit of extra time, instead of, taking everything out of the garage and pressure washing the floor and then painting the entire inside of the garage, or coming out here to the pole building and taking everything out of the pole building and straightening it out, which I did find time to straighten it out. Oh, there's the birds. They're coming back now. Maybe they're just taking a nap. But I was supposed to pressure wash all this. I was supposed to put lights up in here. None of that happened. I was supposed to pressure wash our front sidewalk and our steps. We were supposed to, well, we'll probably end up paying somebody to do it, but we were going to have landscaping done around the home. All that stuff was going to be done this summer when I had time. And every time I have a little bit of a window of time to do something, I'm in that RV and I'm working, or on the outside and working, or moving it in and out of here. I mean, it just buying the stuff that I need, all of that, ordering it, making sure it's the right thing. And it tied up time. I mean, there's a lot of labor time that's involved, but more importantly, there's just a lot of missed time that is going towards that RV that I then told him, hey, I don't care if it's only $300 worth of material. The only way I'm going to feel even comfortable about this on any level is if you give me $2,000. And the funny part is he was just giving me back some of the money that I paid for it. Knowing what I know now, if I would have just paid a little bit closer attention, which shame on me, and seen that damage was there, and I told him, hey, your floor is damaged, and he turned to me and said, well, listen, how about I lower the price by $2,000 and you can buy it this way and you can fix it yourself. I would have ran away. He would have had to come down $4,000 on the price. There's no way that I would have done that. Not for what I told him. And part of me took that lesser amount than what I wanted, as not to scare him away, which, yeah, quit reliving it, Mike. Get on with it. Okay, let me go ahead and straighten this up in here. Like I said, I'm just leaving this open to let the air flow, let it dry out. It's not that it's terribly damp in here, but you could tell that certain parts of the floor, it's kind of muddy. Like you could see that tire tread there, right? But yet if I step on it, it pretty much goes away. It's kind of weird in here. It's a moist area. When they put this in, when they put the base in here, I don't think they did a very good job. What I would have liked to have seen if this was my pole building and I was, installing it, I would have maybe cut a grid channel 3 foot deep, maybe 2 foot deep from front to rear, and then have across maybe 3 of the same, you know, section this off basically into 9 equal settings and have a 2-foot deep trench that was maybe 8 inches wide, and then fill that with large gravel, and then put whatever top layer that you may over that. That way, if there is moisture that seems to be trying to find a place to go, it has those channels to find a way out of the pole building eventually. And of course, there's that grid I'm talking goes, out, because there's stuff that happens like this. I mean, you could see the base of that pole. It's got some rotted stuff going on there. I'm sure the poles were set up for, to be used with ground contact, but yeah, it's kind of wet in here. I don't know how to describe it. It's not like right now, if I take a big breath, it's not stinky or nothing. There's times that it is, though. After rain and it's hot, I'm talking a lot of rain and it's hot out, it's kind of got this musty smell going on in here. But yeah, I don't like this, the floor that's in here. Again, I'd like to have seen maybe more gravel. Actually, what we could do, there is a company that restores gravel driveways. They could probably come in here and drag, with their Bobcat and that tool, they could probably drag this whole floor and bring up whatever aggregate this is made out of, because this is some sort of a dirt floor with gravel. But honestly, I don't want to do any of that. I'd like to have just a little bit nicer floor in here, though, so that I like that it's packed. But anyways, let's get the day started, and let me see if I can do something with this RV today. Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to a wonderful day. It's already in the mid 70s, and it's not even 11 a.m. Car's here. You know why? Because Heidi's here. Our son's not, though. Even though his car's here, he's over in Boston. Here, yeah.
Look at the
cucumbers. Why does the cucumbers look funny?
Because the weather's too hot.
Well, they're not lying about it being too hot. I mean, that's an easy answer. This whole country, everybody says the weather's too hot. So I was telling Heidi that yesterday I cut a square out of the RV with the air running, but I'm going to have to do something different, because when the air is running, that fiberglass, man, it stirs up dust and it goes right through the air conditioner. So I don't want that fiberglass dust to be in the air conditioner, to be stirred up at random, which that could happen at any time. So I only cut the one panel, and it went very smooth, and it was very easy. So all I got to do is just put some reinforcement wood in a few key places, get out the construction adhesive, and then my biggest challenge will be, which Heidi knows, I'm not a woodworker, cutting a piece of wood that fits.
Yeah, well, at least you show up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we tried to get people to come in and do this, but oh well. Their loss, that's the way I see it. I can't believe how many beans you're getting again. This is, how many pounds do you think you've had now?
I don't know, probably.
Now, we're not canning beans, right?
No, they're not. I don't have enough that, like, if I had a couple more rows maybe, but they're not coming on, with the, I got like a row and a half, and
I see a big bean right from here on this plant closest to me.
I'm not over there.
Oh.
I'm doing that today.
Ew. It's funny, though, I can see it. You guys got to realize, being colorblind, it is really tough to see stuff in a garden. I mean, I know this is going to seem funny to people that aren't colorblind, but everything in this garden except for the tomatoes is the same color. It's identical. There's no difference to me in the leaves that she has her hands on now and the leaves that are over there on that tomato plant and the grass and the weeds. And
these things are still loaded with balloons and weeds.
Well, I've got it set up today where you can water the garden, which is good, right?
Yeah.
I should go back and open the pole building again. It's a good thing to let it air out that way. It's, I don't know, it seems more dry and pleasant in there. All right, that's the update. You got anything you want to say?
No, other than it's warm out.
Are you glad to be off to work?
Yep.
Now, you only go back to work one day and then you're off again, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't particularly like the schedule.
Well, you have no choice.
Yeah.
Until...
A few weeks from now, I'll be getting more day shift.
Yeah. Oh, well.
They miss me on day shift because I work the counter.
So now they're working the counters? Yeah. Heidi's one of the only, let me rephrase that. Heidi's one of the few store managers that I ever heard of that does everything in the store. She'll clean the bathrooms. She puts away truck. She works the counter and the customers. Will make deliveries. She does everything. A lot of the store managers, they manage the store and they'll lend a hand.
The thing is it's never changed with this company, you know. I'm not talking bad about it or anything. It's just what it is. But it's like I started as an inventory specialist. They got rid of those years after. Even though I had a couple inventory specialists in my store, that title followed me. Still does today.
Yeah.
But luckily I do have a person now that...
Yeah, that's the other thing she does is all these resets.
Yeah.
All the shelves and everything. You guys don't realize how many, every store is different. Every company is different as far as policies go. But when you walk into a retail auto parts store, you have no idea how many price changes in that little store are done on a daily basis. How many price changes do you do daily?
100.
So,
especially with the tariff.
So she'll change 100 prices a day in that store. Meaning she'll physically go out and pull tags and put new tags up with new prices 100 times every day. That's the first thing. The other thing, how many times do you guys reset your and do a planogram? How many planograms do you do a week?
Usually, say an average 1 to 2.
So what a planogram is the inventory that's sitting on the shelves, or could be behind the counter that you don't even see, something in the back. Once to twice a week, they take and completely reorganize the shelves and move product and move them to different locations. Like if you go into the store, there's lots of changes that they'll be making, and especially in the winter, to bring up antifreeze and snow brushes and chains and whatever else, antifreeze. All that stuff changes. All right, we're gonna leave Heidi alone so she can do her work, listen to her music, and I'm gonna bring the bounty in. Look at the bounty. Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to another warm, and it's going to be a kind of humid day because it rained. This is the first rain that we had of any significance since I did the repair in the RV. Coming over here to flip my ladder around because it will hold water in the legs. There we go. Yeah, we had a good lightning storm that came through last night. So let's see if the RV got wet. Okay, can you hear that fan noise? Maybe? All right, let me show you what it is. I'm just trying it out. We'll see if it works. Now this isn't a what do you want to call it? A review video or anything like that. It's just something I got, and I told Heidi, I said, you should try it out. She did, and she says, I don't know if I'd use it. So I have a personal fan that's back here. You see that there? Basically, it just clips to my belt, and it does what you would think. It blows air up into my shirt. All right, and it's got clips and everything. It's pretty awesome, to tell you the truth, the way that it works. I'm kind of surprised. So why would I necessarily need a fan if I've got air conditioning in this RV? Well, I found out the other day, and I think I mentioned it already, that just this one piece that I cut to trim, the dust that was generated off of just that piece of insulation was incredible. I started choking on it. I have a mask somewhere. You know, oh, there we go. So I have a mask, but I didn't have it on. I just wanted to see how successful I could be trimming precisely along a nice straight line. And it was just I was just trying it out. Well, I not only did it generate dust that I was breathing, but more importantly, I was sucking that up into that dust up into the air conditioner. Now, the filters for the air conditioner are nothing more than these things here, and we removed these some time ago, just because we're going to clean them and put them back in once we know that the construction is done in here. But we're going to clean this unit out before we put those filters back in. So I don't know if that makes any sense. Some of you may be thinking, well, that's ridiculous. Why would you do that? I mean, I get it. But that's what we were doing. And I told Heidi, I said, I don't care how nice it is to have the air conditioning running in here. When I'm doing this trimming of the wood, to get, to where I can start replacing the bad panels, there's no way that I can run that air conditioner in here. So I do have the fan, which you see, and the fan does a really good job. But I thought, you know what, if I'm moving in and out of the RV, cutting panels and bringing them in and stuff like that, there's going to be time that I don't have any. Now, the good news is it's only going to be about 83-ish today. Not the 90, 92 degree days that we've been having. So it'll probably be a little bit easier. It got awful hot. I mean, I'm pretty livid with sweat here. I'm almost done cutting. Let me show you that. And if you hear my personal fan running, but not the big fan, I'll show you. there's definitely a reason why. So I've got all these sections cut out, nice straight lines along the studs. What I'll do is I'll scab in another stud of some kind for support for paneling. It won't take very much there. And I decided to go with multiple pieces. I thought about just cutting one big sheet to be all one level. And then, you know, I thought, no, let me just put little boards in. They're easier to manage. There's a lot more cutting, a lot more measuring, but once it's cut to fit, you know, there's more gaps that you have to worry about. But more importantly, it's easier to manage than a couple big sheets. The reason the fan's not running is because I got that saw going and I just right into the power cable right there. I seen a little spark come out and I'm like, wait a minute, the fan's not running. I went in and seen that the power watchdog had an I think 6 on it. It shut off immediately. So I'm gonna have to patch this electrical. All this electrical it just goes right to this plug and right back out again. I had to make my wire repair there. I just drilled a new hole through the stud a little bit further up. There may be some structural compromise there, possibly, but it's far enough up, I doubt it. And yeah, that gives me plenty of wire that I could rewire that. But the cuts are done. All I have to do is just measure this stuff out and start cutting the wood. However, I am done, at least for today. It's 88 in here, and I don't mind except the humidity's up there quite a bit. So, nice, right? Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to another wonderful day, even though it rained quite a bit last night. Check it out, there's a car there. You know why? Because there's a person here. Heidi is going to start harvesting for animals, right? Is that what's going on?
All I want to do is pay somebody to do this.
I know.
I don't want any plants. I think I want gravel.
Yeah.
I want it to at least last 5 years.
Maybe we should call that landscaping guy that's not that far away. Boy, that might be a good idea.
It's just ridiculous.
That might be a good idea. Okay, well, I'm gonna get to work and tell everybody on the camera hi, bye, whatever. Okay, so I just wanted to see how this would go, and I threw this piece in here really quick. It is glued, it's got insulation behind it, and of course it is nailed in place, and it looks like that it came out okay. And quite honestly, I just kind of rushed this. I'm not too concerned underneath the electrical there, because there's a box that that goes over that whole thing. So I think we're in pretty good shape with the rest of these. Like I said, it's just a matter that I have to make mini cuts, mini pieces. So I've got to make a little skinny one for there. Of course, I got to make a bigger one for there, a little smaller there, a little smaller there. Then over here, I got to make a little L-shaped one for there. Or I could do a big rectangle and then just piece in that little square down there, which I could, because again, this is all behind the dinette, and unless you have the dinette seat up looking in, you would see that little square at that point. But even then, it wouldn't be horrible. Maybe I'll do that. I'll just make it one big square there, and then another square there and another square there. So I basically has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of wood that I have to cut. Put the insulation in, these ones that are missing the insulation, and then just glue them and nail them in, and that's pretty much it. Now the corners will get a little tricky because I need to kind of try to reutilize, if I can, those corner pieces. If not, I'll have to get corner trim, which I really wouldn't want to do, especially on this side, because it's in pretty good shape. I think I can squeeze a panel behind there, and underneath the lip. I don't know yet. That's questionable. I will say that I stirred up some dust in here and got me hacking. But yeah, it should go okay. I think the wallpaper will take up whatever seam is there, which is very little, and I'll smooth it out a little bit more to make sure that the wallpaper can go over that all right. But let me work on this a little longer. Again, Heidi's off today, so I hate that I'm out here working necessarily, because you know, it's her day off and we like to hang out together. But she decided she wanted to clean the bathrooms inside, and we've got a guy coming potentially later today to give us an estimate on landscaping, some sort of landscape design. And then we have a roll-off dumpster, you know, a roll-off. I don't know, I think it's 10 yards that we're going to have them drop off, so I can take all that stuff that's in the pole building and bring it out on the trailers and dump it. Plus I have a refrigerator in the basement. I have cabinets in the basement that need to go. I have a whole bunch of metal that we're going to call another guy that scraps, and he's going to come get it, including the refrigerator. Good morning, YouTube, and look who's here for the time being. It's Heidi. She's on a meeting. She's got a meeting, a phone meeting, whatever. So I'm going to leave her alone. She just wanted to say hi to everybody. And in the meantime, I get to go outside and open up the RV. It's going to be 89 today. Currently, though, it's 56. That's one of the lower temperatures we've had in the evening for a while. Oh my, it is definitely cooler. Nice fog across the area. I've got to spread that out today, definitely. But the reason that I'm coming out here, or the reason that, well, the RV I got to open up, and we're going to get that going a little bit later, but I wanted to have the keys out here. You can see Heidi's parked out in the front yard. We're going to put a roll-off dumpster here, so that we can clean up the pole building and a lot of the stuff that was left behind. When we purchased the house, the gentleman that lived here, he could not leave because he had health issues. He said, hey, is it okay if I just stay here? I'm on oxygen. It's kind of hard for me to leave, 2 hours at a time and come back. And we said, sure. And actually, I welcomed the fact that I get to talk to the owner of the house directly. Normally everything's done through your realtor. So when I was talking with him, I basically started kind of negotiating with him, on what, we would be expecting of the home. And I told him, because he wasn't able to get around very well. He had lived here for about 8 years, and he had accumulated some stuff, and it was thrown about. I mean, he had stuff, he had stuff everywhere like everybody does. And I had told him, because of his immobility and his lack of being able to get help necessarily to get him moved out of this location into his new location, I told him, listen, if we make a deal on the house, you don't even have to take your trash out of your can, in the kitchen to the curb. You can leave it all. You can just leave everything in the fridge. You can leave everything downstairs. You can leave any clothes you don't want. You can leave any trash that, stuff that needs to be thrown away. Some of these house deals, what they do is require the seller to have it in broom swept condition. So, broom swept condition is pretty much cleaned out. And I told him, don't worry about it. You don't have to do that. So he left a lot of stuff behind. He left a ton of stuff behind. And that's what we're getting a dumpster to take care of.
I'm not spending 30 minutes trying to get on there. It just
Yeah, that's...
could be the internet.
No.
I don't think.
No. Definitely not. Our internet's okay for that. Well, this is a nice surprise. Our son, he went over to Boston for a week, I guess it's been. And I don't know what the date is today, Saturday. Heidi's working, so I had to come up and pick him up at the airport. We're at Cleveland Hopkins Airport. This is a cell phone lot. But what the nice surprise is, I put the truck on eco mode. And I took it really, really easy. And at one point, that said 26.9 until I had to pull into this parking lot, which required a couple stops. So 26 miles to the gallon, almost 27 miles to the gallon. That's pretty impressive for something that has, 385 horsepower. But I did have it in eco mode, and I never went more than 2 miles per hour over the speed limit at any point in time. So, yeah, we got that. This thing keeps on beeping. It's driving me crazy. So the truck does really good when it's empty. That's the whole idea behind the F-150s. But they have the greatest, by far, differential when you start towing. Now, obviously, the full-time people, the full-time guys, they probably don't want to mess around with an F-150 if they're pulling something really heavy or even semi-heavy, because, of course, the characteristics of this thing towing versus Super Duty is way different from each other. And the solid feel and the confidence that you have towing with a Super Duty, of course, far outweighs, maybe any kind of gas mileage deficit you may think you're going to get when you're empty. Now, I'm going to say that the Super Duties, of course, when they're empty, they don't get very good gas mileage. They get fair gas mileage. But the thing is when they're loaded, their gas mileage will drop, but usually not much more than, not very much more than what it gets when it's empty. Versus this truck, I would expect that when I'm towing, even something as light as 6,000, 7,000 pounds, I would expect this truck would, the best it could do was maybe a 13 mile per gallon thing. I'm guessing that's probably about best. So one of those things you have to consider whenever you're, either going full time or you're towing, just occasionally. If this truck is easily rated for, a pretty big RV. So, it's up to you. It's your call. That's, your mileage may vary, applies heavily here.
Look at this spider. Look at this spider and how he is running from me. But he don't want to run completely. He's like standing his ground. Isn't that crazy? Oh, it's just a wolf spider, I think. Yeah, it's just a wolf spider. But he's big. He's very big.
So one of the things, boy, my hair's messy. One of the things that nobody has time to do is read the small print. Well, luckily for me, there's times in the day that I actually have time to read the small print. And it's kind of funny because we got this in the mail and it says USAA perks. Consumer cellular. Plans start at $20 a month. I'm always looking at cell phone plans because there could be something better. The last thing you guys want to do is if everything works and does what it's supposed to, and you're happy with what you're paying, then I get it. But you know, there could be something better out there. There could be something a little bit cheaper out there, but you gotta watch. And this consumer cellular thing through USAA perks, who knows? They could have just bought my address and stuff off of the account somehow. I don't know. But just to get right to the point, there's some of our favorite plans at $20 for one line a month, and that's 1 gigabyte. It lets you know that's not very much as far as data. Then there's 35 for 10, 40 you get 15. So for $40 you get 15 gigabytes. For $35 you get 10 gigabytes. But I know we need unlimited. I mean, we use a lot. A whole bunch. And this says 2 lines is $60 a month, and it's unlimited gigabytes, so it says. But there's a little small, it says something small, you can hardly read it there. I don't know if this is going to come out on camera, but there's just this little small thing right here, right? I'm like, oh, I wonder what that is. And there's an asterisk so I'm going to go to the fine print, which of course the fine print, man, I can barely read this. Look under my glasses here a little bit. And it says, the plans shown include a $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. So they don't want to send you, they don't want to be sending you mail, even though they send you mail to get you hooked. They're basically saying, well, you have to have electronic mail to get that discount. A $5 discount that is shown in that price. Not only that, but it has to be automatic payments. You got to give us your bank account and we just bill you. All right, I don't really have a problem with either one of those, as long as they're easy to get out of. But then it says for unlimited data plans, which that's what I just said we'd need to do. Access to high-speed data will be reduced after 50 gigabytes of combined use. Well, that sounds unlimited to me. 50 gigabytes and it's going to be reduced? Well, just because you're going to continue to give me, something, it's like saying, hey, if you go on this cruise, everything is all inclusive unless you eat more than 2 meals a day. And then we're going to reduce your food to just a couple of snacks. Well, that don't sound like all my food's all inclusive. Or the drinks. You can drink all you want, but after you have 3 alcoholic beverages for the day, the rest of your beverages have to be water. So that sucks. But this is the best part. I wonder who they think they're trying to get around here. Well, I know who they're trying to get around. Younger people, because it says unlimited data plans only for customers age 50 or plus. Age validation required. So they're hoping that old people get on the plan, because there's no way old people would be abusing their unlimited data. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that Heidi and I use just as much data as anybody else that you can find out there, other than maybe people that are always gaming or something on their phones. But even then, we use a lot. Our unlimited data, it has to be unlimited because we use a lot. Just as a household, just through not through our EasyCom server, which I've talked about that in the past. Please go back and look at that video. For you people that are wanting to travel the country and have internet, look at EasyCom. There's links in the description of every one of our videos that talks about EasyCom and how you can get out there and get hold of Jesse and the guys. just let them know it's RVDaydream that sent you out there. Use the link, obviously. But anyways, even without that server or that router and the internet that we used through it, the one internet provider that we have through a cable, Spectrum, which I'm not real happy about. They do an okay job. It's just I don't like what they charge for what you get. We do over a terabyte a month in data easily, and it's just me, my wife, and our son. Now our son, he does a lot of stuff online, but he just does a lot of stuff on his computer. It's not like he's online all the time. But by far, me doing videos and uploading videos and us streaming all of our activity as far as our relaxation time, watching movies, watching YouTube, Heidi going through Facebook, me going through Facebook Marketplace, again, me uploading videos. Yeah, we use a lot of data, but it's kind of funny that they just assume that if you're over 50 plus, that it's okay. We're going to offer you this unbelievable plan. And yeah, I just think it's hilarious that we've gotten to the point where we're, my age group's already being known as the people that aren't necessarily using a lot of tech. And again, that's not really the truth. I use a lot of tech.
Heidi was nice enough to get me breakfast this morning. Well, she gets me breakfast a lot of times when she's home. She likes to run down and get coffee. So I always have her pick me up a sandwich or a little meal. And there's no way that this is a kid's meal. I mean, this is a regular, sausage, egg, McMuffin meal. And I don't understand why they're putting it in bags that look like it's a kid's meal, right? So they got, filet of fish lake and Ronald McDonald and some sort of spaceship there, But they got a crossword on the back, and I'm like, all right, well, let's see what that's about, And I'm just interested, remember everybody used to do crosswords. I don't know, some people still do crosswords every day. I never was a big crossword person, but occasionally I would do them. So I thought, all right, let's just start with number 1, which is a down. And it says, fry friend activity. So I'm like, all right, fry friend activity. Well, I don't know what a fry friend is. I'm assuming it's somebody who you share fries with. That's what I'm guessing. And then it's 1 down. It's a pretty long. I'm like, I have no idea what that's going to be. So they give you the answers here, obviously. And it's roller skating is the answer. So I'm like, well, fry-friendly activity could have been paragliding. It could have been body surfing. It could have been scuba diving. It could have been bowling. It could have been every single activity out there. So I'm thinking, well, how would somebody guess roller skating? So I'm looking all over this bag. There's French fries there. See, there's French fries. There's the people that are like this captain or whoever that is there, that he don't have roller skates on. There's a pathway, but it don't say anything about roller skates. There's no picture of roller skates on anybody anywhere that would indicate that that's a fry-friendly activity. Man, I don't know who put this stuff together, but I want their job because they're just putting out nonsense. I've got my headphones, ear protection, whatever, my headphones, and I need to mow today. Being that it's Friday, it's I don't know. If you guys haven't figured this out, which I don't know why I tell you half the time, you guys know this stuff, right? It's not like that I'm sharing any great knowledge. You guys go, oh, I never thought of that. But if you ever have a lawn care service, what you try to do, the clients that have been with the lawn care service is usually the longest, or I don't know, the ones that get better treatment. Not that it pertains too much for us, but you want to get your lawn mowed on Friday. Every Friday or Thursday or Friday. The reason being is then over the weekend when you have visitors, People come over for parties. People are just driving through the neighborhood, whatever. You have a freshly mown lawn. So that's why people that have been with companies longer, or people that pay extra, they get preferential treatment and they get their lawn mowed on Thursday or Friday. I could put together a whole bunch of little antidotes like that of stupid stuff that I've come across over the years, huh? Yeah, I'm definitely push mowing this today. And again, the whole reason the dumpster's there, I feel weird about it, because Heidi and I are not ones to waste money. And if we can find a way that we can earn a little bit of extra money, we do that. But you see all of this stuff here. I really don't want to take all that to the wrecking yard. We have so much metal still in the garage, and horsefly trying to get me. I don't think I want to mess with any of that. God, this looks horrible, don't it? Kindergarten. That's what it looks like. Michael, look at the idiot that I am. I put those nails in, and they went all the way through. Oh my God, I had no idea. Oh my word. What a freaking idiot I am. Oh my God, look at this. The sad part is I have shorter nails. Look at this. I have shorter nails and I didn't even realize I was doing that. My God, I'm an idiot. Look at that. Holy cow. I need to just get rid of this thing now. I'm an idiot. I gotta patch all those holes. Stupid. The nail gun that I use, the power nailer that I have two different size of nails, and once I put that board in place, I thought that was fine, that I had plenty. Oh my God. Man, I'm just an idiot. Well, I kind of corrected it. They are aluminum, so I went ahead and just touched them with the grinder. So now these are smooth dents. That's about the best I can do. But they look a little bit more acceptable now than what they did. I just texted Heidi and told her what an idiot I was, which she already knows that, but I wanted to see what she has to say. So we're going to do this backwards. All right. What I definitely don't want is like that going on over there, that mess. So we've got all of this here that is a mix match of scrap wood, edging, lawn edging, but mainly scrap wood. It looks like an old decking boards or something. We have this stuff, this pipe. This is driveway asphalt. I might entertain looking at that. This barrel, it's supposed to be a planter, I guess. This sink, that toilet lid. Maybe just leave the concrete block just in case we need it. These bricks all need stacked up to make it neat. They look like they're okay. They might come in handy for something, and I don't care if they stay here. They're not bothering anybody. This is where we get into some questionable stuff. These big, long metal beams. Metal beam, metal beam, metal beam, metal beam. That's all great scrap metal. These pipes, the same. All really good scrap metal. All right, inside here, this is where we got more to go. You see, they have the original bricks that the house was built with. So they're there. Of course, we keep those. There's a double sink there. I can't get rid of a tire and rim, unfortunately. I could get rid of the rim, but not the tire. I don't know if I can get that tire off there. These are all metal poles. I don't know what they're used for, but again, here we are into some metal. There's some other metal scrolled there. This barrel here, this here, which has saw blade that's metal and an old level that doesn't work. I checked it. It's metal. That table stays here. This whole lawn cart is filled with stuff that's, you know, it's one of those, this is typical yard sale stuff. That's what I see here. I could just easily throw it all away and not have to deal with it. However, maybe we want a yard sale and this would be the stuff we put like a quarter on and, you know, just so people can buy it. On this side of the trailer is a lot of scrap metal, an old bed frame. There's copper wire and stuff in here. There's just metal. There's just a lot of metal, but there's also a lot of lumber. I don't need a lot of lumber. I wouldn't use this lumber. Some of it's good old hardwood, but it's also misformed. The thing is, if I had a project I really wanted to do, I would not go to this stuff here. We have this barrel here that has chemicals in it. We have this one here, this all burn. All this wood could be burned, but now that we got something here that we can scrap, we can just get rid of it all. And then all the rest of this is scrap, including that desk back there, and there's some old dresser that's back there too. Not worth refinishing, not worth anything for that matter. Okay, so all this has to go. This is one of the main reasons we got that barrel, that roll off. And then this is all scrap metal. And this is what our son brought back from work, his work, whatever, you know, some kind of, and you see there's a lot of it. He got a lot of it here. I need to do something about this stack here. And the only thing I can do is basically cut it off and then put a couple pieces of wood up to cover up the hole with some kind of sealant. But then this rack, I need this rack to go, this whole rack, and you know, all the metal that's on it. And then in here we just have a few small things. We have that scrap barrel right there. It's all metal. And there's a bucket of concrete block over here somewhere. So now we'll go down into the abyss. This is where I got some work cut out for me. Hey, nothing here. Not the wall lockers. We really like the wall lockers. They're very cool. They're very, very cool. But Heidi and I have been having quite a bit of a discussion considering what we might want to do with these desks. Let me go ahead, since I'm down here. Kaboomy and kaboomy. It's obviously our laundry chute. So I don't mind the hanging cabinet. I don't mind the hanging cabinet. These cabinets here are worthless. To us, they're worthless. There's nothing, I mean, it's like this is loose. I mean, don't get me wrong, these drawers, everything's really nice. It's old. These are old cabinets. I just don't see a use for it. That metal cabinet, more scrap metal. That needs to go. Big deal here. This refrigerator. Okay, there's nothing wrong with this refrigerator. This refrigerator works. It comes on. It does everything it's supposed to, but it's filthy. And we don't need it. I mean, we just don't need a refrigerator down here. It's you know, when we got here, it was plugged in, it worked. We unplugged it, and it's just been sitting. Let's get you in here and turn on some lights, and here's some more cabinets. So we have this metal cabinet. It's not thick. It's very flimsy. This ain't like a gun cabinet or anything. This is like some kind of work cabinet, and it's rusty down at the bottom. It used to be outside, or it used to be in an area that weather was an issue. Weather's not an issue here, but this cabinet, I have no use for it. I mean, maybe putting my chemicals in it. If it had multiple shelves, I could put shelves in there, but even then, I just don't see it. This cabinet here, it's a, you know, again, just not, this isn't anything we wouldn't need. Back down here, this is metal. Oh, this is metal plated. It's heavy, but it's got wood in it. And I think this is a door too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And this is just a metal, flimsy metal door. I don't know what the shelves are made of, but there you go. There's something else. So we got to get rid of that. We have these couple old registers that don't fit anything here. They got to go. And then finally, we have this cabinet right here that is metal. Ow, poked myself. Actually, I think I cut my finger just now. That's sharp. There's something really sharp. Oh, it's a nail sticking out. But anyways, these are all metal. So there's a metal cabinet. All that has to go. So you see where we're getting with why we wanted to try to do metal scrap maybe. But I don't like the idea that all this goes in the back of my truck or in the trailer or both. And then we have to deal with whatever may come from that. Oh, better turn this light off. Heidi will wonder what's going on. Maybe I should start the laundry for her. No, because I don't know. I like to separate the laundry, darks and lights. And every time I do, she goes, you don't even need to do that. So it's like, okay. So that's where we're at with all this. You see everything that we have, all the scrap that we have. Of course, this is Heidi's furniture for her little projects or whatever she's doing. But yeah, that's why we have a roll-off. So I told Heidi, since the summer is pretty much full force, that I would take her on a trip in the trailer. I think she thought we were going somewhere in the RV though. All right, time to come out here and do a little bit more work each. Yeah, it's actually, we got 50% chance of rain, which I forgot, and it's all north of us, so that's good. I got to go all the way back to the pole building. I had to grab my Sawzall so I can cut these two boards that are real long, and maybe this one here that's long. Hopefully it'll cut all three of them. And then I think we have one more load. That's what Heidi says. Oh yeah, in the back. And then we're just taking all the scrap metal and we're putting it out there, as you can see, just past Bud's car there. All right, well, that's our check-in for the time being. See how this goes. Heidi said she could do this all day long.
Not really. I'm too old.
Yeah.
I'm out of shape. Even though I like pick up heavy rotors and stuff, I don't do it all day.
Yeah. And my left arm, I strained a muscle up top near my elbow, and I can't pick up. It's getting better, but
any landscapers around on YouTube land that watch us?
Yeah, we need a good landscaper to come out and do some work. We were thinking about putting probably gravel all the way around the house. Or patio block.
Simple. You don't even have to plant any plants.
Yeah, just dig up, clean up, make it look good. All right, enough having fun.
Oh, we'll get crickets from that too.
Yeah, doesn't that look like that taillight's on? Isn't that funny? Or that side light?
Oh yeah, it does.
Gosh, look at the RV, look at the trailer, how rusty it is, and we've only taken it out. You know what I'm saying?
Twice.
Look how rusty it is, like around the fenders and stuff.
Jeez.
Time to sell it. Yeah, we'll just keep on using it. All right, let me go do work. Okay, so we're almost done. We didn't get everything that we wanted. So the desk that's in the garage is going to have to stay. Maybe we'll just pull it out and take a picture of it and put it on Facebook Marketplace free. Come pick it up. The cinder blocks in the back, we'll get those tomorrow, and they will fit in this area here and whatever we need to do. Everything else, the pole building's clean, the yard's clean, behind the pole building's clean, more importantly, and then this is all the scrap metal. And like I said, you can see there's a decent amount of scrap metal to the point where we was thinking about making a run ourselves. But I mean, this is not 2 ton. I'm sorry, this is not 1 ton. This isn't 2,000 pounds. So that means we're only talking less than $150 for all this. And not only that, but I have to prepare that compressor and stuff. So no, we're not going to do it. We'll call the guy and have him come out and do it. Some guy just comes and gets it, I guess. I don't know. Well, people that want to do this, for a living, get scrap for a living. But this will finally get rid of all the stuff that was left behind. Almost everything that was left behind. Pretty good. We're whipped. Bud came home and helped us, and he ran in and took a shower real quick, and Heidi's waiting for her turn in the shower. We only have a 40-gallon hot water tank. We're used to having a 60 at the old house. But let's see how Heidi feels. She was going to cook tacos today and everything. She had all these big plans. So you're not doing the big plan taco or nothing, huh?
I would, but I'm tired.
Yeah, we're all tired.
My back hurts.
Okay, well, I just wanted to get you on camera. And
Yeah, I don't really want to eat out because
we always eat out.
I know we eat out a lot. A lot.
We eat out on average
5 days a week.
5 days a week.
4 to 5. Yep, maybe 6. Maybe 7.
And sometimes that's twice a
That's
day.
why we're fat.
Sometimes twice a day.
We're fatties.
Fatties. But Heidi got her car detailed the other day, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
They did a really good job. It's a guy that she works with.
I had to take it to the car wash today because it was so dusty.
That's right.
My road is dusty at work.
We put up ceiling fans the other day. I didn't say that. Not in here. Heidi says, don't show the bedroom. Well, it's kind of hard to show the fan if we don't show the bedroom. Here's the remote. And yeah, it's a nice one. And we got it at MacBid. If you guys don't know what that is, you may want to look into it. MacBid. We got 2 for her. It's a twofer. So our son's got one in his room. And then we just had this goofy light in our room. Now we have a ceiling fan. All right, say bye.
Bye for now.
Good morning, YouTube. It's a cloudy day, but it's a cooler day. We're moving into a pattern that is a little cool today. I think our high's only 75. And I think we're going to get back up into the 80s for a couple of days, maybe. However, we're going to drop into then 4 days of what they're saying is a fall preview, an early fall. But it's not going to stay. It's just the weather pattern has shifted, and we're going to have days that the highs are going to struggle or barely get into the lower 60s. And the lows at night are going to be into the 40s. So we're moving into a weird pattern, but just for about, I don't know, guess about 4 days. And then we'll move back into upper 70s and 80s again. This is the time of year that people have a tendency to like. I'm burning some cardboard. I was just looking to make sure the flames are still going. People have a tendency to like it. I don't necessarily, we like it hot and humid, but nonetheless, it's what we're going to get, and I'm all right with it. It's a change, so that'll be nice. I can work inside the RV a lot easier with it not being humid at all. The reason I'm coming out here is I don't recall if I've already showed you this or not. I don't think that I did. We pulled up all those steel beams. We got rid of all that steel pipe, and that's all out there to go to scrap. Heidi got this stuff here, which this is her idea of starting a burn pile. I suppose, I guess it can be a burn pile. It's not very big. The good news is, back here, other than me needing to take some of these bricks and stack them up closer to the pole building, I am going, and one exception, there's a huge tree stump right here, you can see. Other than that tree stump, I should be able to take now the zero turn and just go over all of this and knock it all down, run it over back there, maybe smooth it out a little bit better, but I'll be able to keep this all mowed. Not only that, but I'm going to take my pole saw most likely, because there are thorns on this. I don't know if you can tell, there's thorns. I hate that. We're going to cut that off at the base really low. Of course, that will be more stuff to burn, put in a burn pile, and I should be able then to mow all of this. Now, there is a portion of me, or a part of me, that wants to try something different here, and what that would be is we're thinking about doing gravel, and making this area all just gravel back here. Probably not. The other thing that we're talking about a little bit more seriously, because I see that there's like animals living underneath that building over there, we're thinking about extending our fence and making our fence all the way down here, about where that sand is, just this side of it, and then across the back, to give us more privacy and to keep everything just a little bit neater back here. Then what we'll do for sure, if we do in fact extend that fence, is we will fill this area up with gravel. We'll make sure that this is all gravel then, to work around the pole building. And then we'll clean this up. Although I do like the mint leaves that are here. It's kind of bramble looking, which I think these are called brambles. At least they are overseas. So we'll clean this up, make it look a little bit nicer, just because. And then we wouldn't have to worry so much about this fence line, which looks horrible. This fence line, this is from a era gone by. The pasture that's back here is, again, it's from an era gone by. What it's getting back to is, I know I'm going in a roundabout way of saying, we all know when we get older, not necessarily, the kids aren't coming over, the grandkids aren't coming over, and if we ever set up our property to be an entertainment facility for such visits, that stuff just goes to the wayside, and all the maintenance that you do on that, a lot of times people get caught up in it thinking, oh, I want to keep this swing set because maybe the grandkids might come over. Or I know people that have in-ground pools, which are not feasible in Ohio. Let me tell you that. An in-ground pool in Ohio is not feasible unless it's heated at bare minimum and enclosed, works the best. So it's funny that we have friends that have in-ground pools, and they just maintain it thinking that it's going to be something more than what it is, and it becomes more of a novelty. I mean, when your kids are young, they're swimming in it all summer long and they're having fun, all that stuff. But other than that, it's a novelty. So what I'm getting at is, whenever you get older, I guess this is kind of a life lesson that we learned, and we're passing it on. We're not even extremely old, by no means. There's a lot of you that watch our channel that are a lot older, and I'm sure you could add even better advice than what we have, and do so in the comments about, trying to make sure that you don't spend a lot of time and effort on maintaining, owning, or hoping for a situation or a time that's gone past. It's funny because Heidi brought up a very good point. We kid around about it all the time, but it is very, very true.
something as simple as this picnic table. I wanted the picnic table. We've always had a picnic table. We always sat at the picnic table. You know, during the summer, we'd have stuff to eat. We would have visits with people on the picnic table, all that stuff. Well, guess what? We bought this picnic table, and I've only sat at it twice. And it's already turning a color or something you can see here, too. And it's because I thought it was going to be the way that it used to be. Because our last house, we had a picnic table. What I didn't realize was that picnic table, all the use that it got was way before, the kids got old and moved out or, got their own lives. As our son, he just took off to go to work. He's been working a lot. So, why am I bringing you over to all this crap? Let me give you an update. In about a week and a half, I guess it's been maybe 2 weeks, probably 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. This is all going to be removed. The landscaping ties are all going to be removed. The textile fabric that's down there, that's all going to be removed. Same here. These railroad ties, all going to be removed. Same with all the mulch, gravel, moss, dirt that's currently there. All that's going to be removed. And then out front here, everything's getting removed. All this block, all of these trees, these perennials, all the shrubs, both sides of the sidewalk, all of that's getting removed. And we're getting new fabric put down, some topsoil with some weed killer, and then they're putting in river rock, big river rock around the entire house. Not only that, but we're going to have a landscape island put in out there of about 5 shrubs and river rock out there also to take up the space between the end of the fence and to that concrete block that's probably hard to see, but there's a concrete block that's just standing up out there, a cinder block. So there's going to be something there as well. It's going to finally make this part of the house look a lot better. One more thing, sorry. This block here, which is fine, and the landscape guy said, well, do you want to keep it? You want to reuse it? We'll reset it. What do you want to do? And we're like, no, we want to get rid of it. It looks horrible the way that it is. He said it's because they didn't set it correctly, that it needed done correctly. He said he will take the amount of block that's necessary and he will get rid of all these landscape ties and he will set all those blocks around this. It's maybe a little bit smaller than what it currently is, but he will set all the way around this with that block, and he will put river stone in here as well with the geotextile and such. So it will look a lot better. The landscaping is just way past what I can do anymore. I mean, there was a time, and it's a sad thing to deal with, but I just can't do it any longer. I can't do that work anymore. And Heidi, she tries herself, and she never really did that work necessarily. She did all the weeding, but our old house, when we first moved into our old house, I created a whole landscape. I don't know how much topsoil we had dumped at our house, and we would hand shovel the topsoil and dump it up along the house to get a good grade. And then we mulched it all. We put in plants. I created this like river of rocks that came off the porch to help with the downspouts. I mean, there was a lot of work that was done. And there's just no way I can't do it. I mean, for us to fill this dumpster, her and I, at the end of the day, man, it was rough. It was really, really rough. So all the scrap that's out by the road, the guy's coming probably within an hour. He'll be picking that up. Hopefully he don't say anything about the appliance. We never really, we told the guy that we were getting the roll off from, that we had a bunch of metal that we had to throw away. And he said, listen, if it's scrap, I know a guy. And we're like, oh, okay. And he said, here's his number. Well, that guy, we called him day before yesterday, and he said, hey, I got something, going on today and tomorrow. He says, but the next day, that'd be today. He says, I can come out and get it. And we said, do you want a picture of it or whatever? And he goes, no, that's okay. Well, hopefully he can take the fridge. The last thing to do here, and I was hoping our son could do this, but apparently he's working, which I didn't know he was going to work today. I know he's working a lot of hours. We have one more thing that goes in that dumpster. This here is all that's left. How about that? That's all that's left. I got it. This is our camera. It turned on somehow. So all I got to do is have all this block loaded up on the trailer and put into the dumpster. Now, I could probably do this myself, but our son said he would help. At that point, we'll take down all these weeds. There's a pallet here that we'll just hang on to, but I want to take down all these weeds, and I think I'm going to do what I would like to do, which I don't think that's going to happen, but what I would like to do is take that kind of gravel there and put it all along, and then make a walkway through here also around. At that point, maybe we would do big gravel for a parking area, because this is always a little damp, and it'd be nice to take care of it. I'm going to throw this out to you guys, and you tell me what you would do. On this side of the fence, I have all this dirt from when they dug the post holes. Now I'm going to just take the little garden tractor with the plow, and I'm just going to plow it all up and just kind of spread it all out. I'll probably do that before I even weed eat, believe it or not. However, we put up our fence per code, and the fence code says that we can only be 2 foot away from the property line. So what that means is, when they put up the fence, they put it up 2 feet off of the property line. Okay, so on the other side of this fence, 1 foot, 2 foot. What do you think we should do in regards to the neighbor continuing to mow that portion of our yard? But more importantly, look at all the weed killer. She sprayed weed killer down the whole length of our fence in our yard and killed all the grass. That's kind of a problem, right? I don't think that's right. I'm dumbfounded, to tell you the truth. I don't know what to think about that. That's just goofy. Why would somebody do that? I mean, the fact that she's mowing a portion of the yard that's not hers in the first place is one thing. But to then spray weed killer to the point where it's in our grass, it's our yard, it's on our property. It's almost criminal, to tell you the truth. I mean, that's some sort of criminal damaging, right?
being recorded.